Alright, the time has come for another C-sharp video. In this one, we had to do help. So we use HelpNDoc. There's different pieces of software to make these help files, but that was just the one we were provided, and also just you know, it's a pretty good one. There are others out there, but as I guess default, it's not actually default in any way. It's just like I said, the one we were provided. I'd say it's pretty good. And it's kind of just like your Google Docs or Word, but for making help files. So we had to do that. So there actually isn't too much difference in here in the actual code, but I still will show what is different. So I'm gonna go here. So this is mostly the same, but if I scroll back down, there is two button clicks for either the help click or the doc help click or the web help click, which I'll get to in a second. But see, these are actually, when I was making them, I made this one first, and then I didn't realize that they would basically be, the same thing, except for one just opens a file or file path, and the other just opens a URL. But other than that, they're the same. So they could be separate, or they could be the same methods, and I could do basically what I did before, where I have, these buttons be the same, and then let me see if I can find an example, and have like a tag where, I parse that tag, and then basically parse that as the URL. But since there's only two, and since, it's probably not going to be expanded. Like there probably wouldn't be ever be a third help on this. I think it's fine to just have them as two similar methods, but in any other scenario, like if I ever thought there's going to be a third, then I wouldn't do that. Anyway, that's the only differences there. And then here, it's probably better if I just show the differences while running. So see, it's visually the same except for the two extra buttons, and then also there is help, local and web help, and also there is the commands as well. So I just did Control H because that made sense for help, and then I did Control J because that's right next to the other help button. And all of these commands are control, so I wanted to keep it the same. So now I'll show kind of like the main bulk of this. So I'll do local help first. So I'll just click this button. So it just opens the file that's included here. And we didn't have to make this too fancy. So I basically just tried my best to do what made sense. So there's like a little introduction. Then if I go here, since each section uses a different control, hair uses the drop down, eyes use the check boxes, nose use the radio buttons, etc. I felt it made sense to do one for each section and then an extra section for the key shortcuts, which just, has a list of the shortcuts. And, I was just trying to be comprehensive. Oh, I just realized I gotta change that. I'll do that I'll do that after this video. But see, I did Control M instead of Control H by accident. That must have been a misclick there. But anyway, but yeah, I did different sections for each of these, and then I think this is kind of like a cool way to do it, where I basically have a list of all the face pieces, because you can put images in here, and see it is like the little menu icons, but it's much smaller in comparison to the image. But yeah, I felt that was a pretty cool thing to do there, and then see a little copyright at the bottom there. And yeah, pretty simple overall, but for a program of this size, I feel like, this is kind of makes sense, just an explanation on each section and then all your key shortcuts. And then if I go to web help, it opens up, basically, it just opens up the, or my GitHub for this, because I did a GitHub pages for this, which is just when you export your HelpDoc file, you have a few different options, and one of them was the one that I used in the actual program, and then another option was to do HTML website, and so I did that. It was basically, it was optional on the assignment, but I thought it was, I know how to use GitHub Pages, and I just thought it was kind of fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Just reopen this. Uh, Not too much else to say, I don't think. But other than, of course, I'm going to have to fix that small error, and that's it.